Well, there you go. We're looking at a sign man install a sign at this diner. You would expect it to be open on Sundays, but it's actually a lunch diner for weekdays, breakfast and morning. And they lost their sign about 3 months ago, and it was missing for a couple of months. Now, right now, they installed the sign last week, but he's adding that green trim around it to make it a little what do we call that? Pizzazz, spiffed up. Wow, just came off. Didn't fit, maybe. But I saw them without it, and some of the guys asked me, "What do you think we should do for a sign?" And I said, "Well, why don't you just get a piece of white plexiglass and put on another piece of plexiglass, the letters." Oh, that's pretty cheap. And I said, "Oh, I don't know. How do you put it on there?" Or rivets. And anyway, obviously they didn't do that. They just went for a painted sign. Well, I guess he just took off the top piece, and now I guess he's looking for the green piece in a box or something that he can bring up on his crane there to make it a little more spiffy. This is like an intermediary street. It's called San Pedro, and right there you see there's a jiu-jitsu place, and across the street there was a place called ABBA, and I'm pretty sure it was owned by the group ABBA, because they have a song called Fernando, which is about the Rio Grande River, and it was in their first big album back in 78, 79. And they're supposedly jiu-jitsu experts, so they probably walked across the street and taught people jiu-jitsu, and back to their office, and they're import-export people. I don't know why import-export people would want to be in this town, but apparently a lot of people do that in this town. Maybe because of its inland height, proximity to Mexico, the port of Baja and the port of Gulf of Mexico, Panama Canal, perhaps cheaper real estate. Well, back to the guy's sign, and you see he's pulling out some green angle iron. It seems pretty heavy. I would have expected it to be aluminum, but it appears to be steel. I would think that those are the side pieces. Yeah, see how the angles, two sides. You see how much strength it's taking to bring them over. These definitely aren't aluminum. He's going up there to zip that them in there with some probably tap screws. Tap screws are those kind that they drill as well as hold. And they're quite frequently used in signage, surface mounted. This place over here, across from this bank here, someone actually took something behind the trees and broke open the wall. And for about a month, there was a gigantic hole in the wall there. I don't know if they took a bobcat and drove into it, or made a little explosion. Took some kind of hole was created, and it was just left there. And then they patched it after about 2 months. Now we're back to the guy in the sign. He's going to. Oh, the wind is moving it. You see that? That's the danger in, I guess, replacing something. We're getting to see that moment of trepidation, where the sign man takes the risk that only one side holds it up. Oh, that's one screw. Definitely 2 screws. 3 screws. 4 screws. 5 screws. 6 screws. 6 screws. And is down to the next one. So each screw probably has a 40-pound test weight. So 6 screws for 3 feet or 4 feet of wind area. The wind area would be that 4 feet, and then 5 feet in. It's like about 10 feet across. So 4 by 10 area is it's probably like 100 mile an hour wind, which is going to translate into I don't know, about 100 pound per square foot load. So you're looking at a 4 by 5 is 20 square foot times 100. So that's 20 kip load, or 20,000 pounds. So that's 6 screws, every 4 feet. So what is that? Every 6 inches? Say every 8 inches, maybe. So let's say 6 inches. They do the 6 inch. Maybe use this 6 inches. So the sign is 6 inches on each edge. And the middle is we're gonna assume that the middle is holding itself. Oh, we could always do a greater hole, but let's just say that's the 20,000 pounds, and you got 4 feet divided by 6 into 6 inches segments would be what? The first one, and then 3 to the third one, and 3 in from the other side, and that makes you 2 feet. And then you have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 5 more. So 8 and 11. So he only gets 6. So that means it's every 8 inches. So 4 divided by 8. See the first one, the second one, 8 and 8. That gets you into the 8 inches and 8 inches, 8 and 8, 16. So 16 and 8 is 24. So that gets you to the 2 feet on either side, right? So 1, 2, 3, 6. So he's really doing that. And then he's assuming that the center is close enough. So if that's the case, on the top, adding another foot, you add 2 more. So there's 6, and then there's 8. So each screw, or 20,000 pounds, we're talking about 6 and 8, a total of 14, right? Is 14, if we said it was 15, into 20,000 pounds. Each one is taking about 110 pounds. So we're just a little bit scarily into that. And you can see it's floating. And now we know why it came out. Voila! And that's the end of the video. Hire an architect.